Hey everyone. So let's look at some auto start, maybe two techniques for having a work installed, like in a gallery, some other venue, and for maintenance reasons, it's smart and more optimized to have things start automatically without needing to click around. So if this work is living by itself, you might not be in the gallery all the time, and who knows if the gallery attendant would be able to kind of navigate a touch designer thing to get it loaded properly. So two different steps. One would be just from the OS end of things. So let's say here's your main project file, and let's say when the computer boots up, let's say the power goes off, someone turns it off. We want this to automatically open, and so no one has to actually like worry about clicking it. Because also in a gallery situation, maybe the keyboard and mouse is put away, it's not connected. It could be a pain to do something as simple as just clicking this file open. So I'm on a Mac right here, so this is very easy whether you're on a Mac or PC. So very easy, we can kind of look this up for OS, and this is just looking in the users and groups login items. So if we look in preferences and then users and groups, and we can click on login items, and we need to click the lock. Actually, let's go and grab this. So let's select my project. Okay, and that's it. That is super easy. So now whenever we log in, my project.toe is going to open up. But then inside our file, so that's step one, super easy. Inside our file, this execute DAT is a great operator to use because it's got this function called onStart. So we can put whatever we want in there, and when this TOE first opens up, it'll run everything in that, which includes things like resetting certain buttons or parameters that need to be reset, and putting it into perform mode. So let's look at, I just like drew this up super quickly. So let's imagine, maybe this was running, and if you have a kind of narrative thing happening where there's like a start, a middle, and an end, and you want it to like reset, there's a certain reset state that it should be in when it starts. So we can imagine, maybe the switch should actually be index 0. This is a radio group. Maybe this should start at scene 1. Some other toggle buttons here. Maybe these should both start as off. Who knows? Down here I've got a speed chop and a count chop that are kind of counting up. Maybe these need to be reset at the beginning. So we'll count here. So reset both of those. So there's a number of things that need to kind of be triggered or pulsed or reset in a certain way to be at the starting state. And so we can use execute to do that. Let's look at, so we hit P here. So there's all these different functions. This start, let's turn that on right there. Okay. And let's just open this up. I'm going to open this up in Sublime Text here. And let's see here. So let's on start. I'm going to go ahead and just delete these other things. I don't need that right now. You can look into that more on your own if you want. We're only going to use on start. So let's say this radio group that I have over here, I want it to start scene 1. So button 1 is going to be turned on. So we go, and we can just spell that right. So we click that one. And for the radio group, if we click that, it'll automatically turn off the other ones, as you can see right there, right? So that's super easy. How about for these buttons, I want them to start both off. So they're both toggle buttons. I can't just click it, because what if it's already off? If I toggle it, then it's going to turn on. So for those we can do, let me just copy this. And that was called buttons 5 and 6, right? So we can specify a 0 or a 1 inside here as an argument. So we'll do that for buttons 5 and 6. So now these will both be clicked off when it starts. And then what else do we do? Let's do, for this switch, I want to start off with the index equal to 0, so it shows the banana. So let's do, and then we find the, coming back here, parameter called index, and set that to 0. And then for speed and for count, we want to pulse this parameter called reset pulse. For both of those are called the same thing here. So if we go reset pulse, okay. So to reset that, it's another little line here. And it's a parameter called reset pulse. And what we do to that is we pulse it. Speed 1, reset pulse, pulse. Okay, cool. Let's test to make sure these are working. So I can, let me just do something else here. So I can test it here. So instead of having to close this and load it back up to test, I can just pulse it right here. And we should see, okay, beautiful, it worked. So everything is at this sort of starting state now. Great. Finally, we want the perform mode to go ahead and start. And to do that, let's get this back. So let's do, so we need to go up a level because I have the execute DAT inside my project 1 container right now. So we can go up a level, perform, and it has a parameter called performance, which we can pulse. So let's have a look at that. If we go over to perform and down at the bottom here, open as perform window, you can see that is called performance. So anytime you have this kind of button right here in Python, we can use this .pulse method to virtually click the button. And that should work. So if I pulse that. Okay, cool. So perform mode is open. And so we need to change a couple settings on perform mode because we don't want it to be in this stupid window, right? We want it to be full screen. And also we don't want our other buttons to show up. So be aware, let's just select all these. Let's select all these buttons. If we go to panel, display off. So now they will not be displayed. Okay, great. And for our perform window, let's go down here and we need to change a couple things. Opening size. So I guess also monitor. So it depends on if you're on a machine that is being mirrored, monitor 0 is fine. If you are duplicating or extending displays to like from your control laptop or whatever to a projector, then you're going to need to make sure that says monitor 1 or monitor 2, depending on how many displays you have hooked up. Opening size, instead of automatic, we want to fill, and then borders turned off. Okay, so now let's try this once again. So we're pretending we just open it up, pulse. Okay, that's what we want. Beautiful. So that makes things live more safely, more optimized without you, and you don't have to worry about loading and restarting everything in case the machine shuts down.